everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, hello to you, and if you are not, thank you so much for coming back. This video is a very special video to me because I have two of my closest friends here. They're like my sisters, Daylani and Marlisa. Y'all may have seen Marlisa in some of the videos I've done before, but Daylani is new to my channel, so welcome to my channel, Daylani.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So there's something big happening this year, like pretty big, and Marlisa and I both have the beautiful honor and blessing and privilege to witness what's gonna happen. Daylani is getting married, y'all, and she is only 21. She'll be 22 when she gets married. So this video is all about Daylani's journey from dating to courting to getting engaged to becoming a wife soon. And it's also about godly relationships and just love in general, with Valentine's Day being in the air. I wanted to talk about love a little bit, so that's why I have Daylani and Marlisa here. So let's just go ahead and get started. Daylani, so what is, if you can tell us your love story, how did you meet Mike? How did that start? Where did it start?
So we met at church. Me, my mom, and my brother joined a church that he grew up in, and we just became friends like a couple years later after a while. And
so you knew him before, then y'all started?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I knew him at church, but
right.
he didn't talk to me.
For a couple of years?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He's oblivious. Like, not like, oh, he's oblivious.
Right. Wow.
No, yeah.
So y'all were in the same area for 2 years straight?
Yeah, it was, 2 years.
Whoa.
We both dated other people, and yeah.
So y'all were like walking by each other?
Yeah, pretty much.
Heather and Cornelius! I was just like Daylani, I don't know if I knew that. That's crazy. That is what happened with Heather and Cornelius. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that first conversation when he did reach out or speak to you.
It was, I don't even remember. I started becoming friends with his friends.
Okay.
And he just happened to be around, and we just kind of talked, and then, you know, Chloe.
Yeah. Hey, Chloe.
Hey, Chloe. Him and Chloe are really close, and he was like, hey, I kind of like her, set this up, and Chloe was like, okay.
So Chloe did?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Chloe.
Wing woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wing woman.
So Chloe came to you, and then she told you that, hey, Mike likes you.
Yeah, and she kind of encouraged Mike, like, hey, just do it, just start talking to her, you know, and he did eventually.
So were we in high school at this time? Or?
No, you guys had just graduated.
Oh, okay. So I knew Mike before Mike and Daylani became official.
Like middle school, right?
Yeah.
Or before.
Dating back to 4th grade. Fourth grade.
Wow.
Yep. We went to the same school in 4th grade, and then we went to the same high school.
And you knew Mike before me too, because you
and I didn't know that.
My cousin goes to Mike's church.
Yeah.
So they all grew up together. So it's a small world.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. So Chloe did the introduction. Mike approaches you.
Yeah.
What was going on in your mind when he first approached you? Were you looking for someone? Were you ready for a relationship?
I definitely was not ready.
Okay.
But I was like, he's fine. So I was like, what? Okay.
They are a cute couple.
So cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you're saying you weren't ready for a relationship?
No, I wasn't.
Did you feel like content in your single season at that time?
No. I was very, very insecure. I know that's like one of the, I wouldn't say regrets getting into our relationship, but I just wish I had more time to heal, because my last relationship didn't end well.
Okay.
So I don't believe in like rushing into relationships back to back, even though it's like, oh, this is a distraction, like it feels good in the moment, but you're bringing other stuff into your new relationship. Yeah. So yeah, that was like one of the things.
Marlisa and I were talking about that. Like being insecure and making sure you're ready before you get in a relationship. It's so important that you do that, because it's like what Daylani said, you bring that mess into the new relationship.
Like a mirror.
Yeah.
Your partner's like a mirror.
Yeah.
So how was it when you and Mike actually decided, how long did you all remain friends before you started dating?
A couple months.
Okay.
And then we were talking for 6 months, and then we became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I
y'all
know.
so cute.
I know. Y'all were friends for a few months, then you
Yeah.
started talking for 6 months, and then you're dating, and then
Yeah.
how long did y'all date before he proposed?
Oh shoot, I think 3 years, right?
Wow.
Because we got engaged last December, and we're getting married when we're like 5 years in.
Wow.
So yeah.
5 years in?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell us about the proposal.
So we were in Florida with my parents, and he like planned everything with my parents. It was like a little scavenger hunt.
It was so
Yeah.
cute. Oh my gosh. I remember getting, I don't know if you called me or someone texted me. I don't know.
I think Mike texted you. He's like, I got the ring or something.
Yes, so, okay, right. So before Mike proposed, he sent me a picture of the ring. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it's about to be official. I was waiting for it to happen because Delaney and Mike together are just, you can tell it's a God thing. So when I saw the ring, and it's a beautiful ring at that, I admire it every time I see it. But I was so happy for them. And then he went down to Florida and did the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
And you had no idea. Did you feel like something was about to happen?
No,
or?
because he lied and he told me, he's like, I'm not doing it in Florida, so don't even expect
Reverse
anything.
psychology.
Yeah,
Right, reverse psychology.
But yeah, but when we first started the scavenger hunt, I was like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. I'm glad I have my makeup done.
Nails done too.
Yeah, my
Right,
nails
all of
done.
it. You were cute.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you cry?
I was about to say,
Like, I
how'd
think
you
I-
feel?
Yeah,
Like,
how did it?
Shed one tear. It was more like, oh my gosh, like this is, we're not just talking about it anymore. Like this is for real. Yeah.
Did you have any nerves or something? I don't know if nerves is the right word, but just, you know how you said it's like this is for real. Like,
Right.
what did that feel like?
It was like just really, I mean, I was really, really, really happy, but I'm a worrier. So I was like, okay, now I have to start planning the wedding. We started planning like right when we got back from Florida.
Y'all did, yeah.
But
And what else
right
are
away.
you doing?
Oh
Like
yeah.
counseling.
Oh, we're in counseling too, but
Okay.
I'm in nursing school.
Right. So
Yes.
she's full into a real hard nursing program.
Yeah.
So not only is she planning a wedding, not only is she surviving just being a woman, she's in nursing school.
Yes.
And
Future
Marlisa
nurse.
knows about
Yeah,
that.
I know the feeling, but she's gonna make an amazing nurse.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm. Wow. So that all happened, like, it feels like you said it in a short timeline, but to
Yeah.
think that it really took time.
Yeah, it did.
You know?
And I'm glad it took time.
Mhm.
Like, we know people, like a lot of people in our church get, I wouldn't say married quickly, but like sooner than we chose to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that we took the time, even having like a 2-year long engagement. It's a lot less stressful, like planning for the most part.
Mhm.
And then just, we get to spend more time doing premarital counseling, which I like, and we're just like developing into like our own people.
Right.
I really like the longevity, like because we are friends and we're still learning each other every day.
Right. That's important to mention, that
so
learning
cute.
doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And is it safe to say that even in relationships or even in an engagement where you're about to become someone's wife, you still have moments with each other where it's like, okay, like, listen, we gotta talk, or there might be little small things that get under your skin, like that still happens in a
it definitely
relationship and a
does.
marriage.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with it?
Well, my mom always says like you have to win the war, not the battle. So like
Pick your
really,
battles.
yeah,
I like
you
that.
really, you have to pick your battles, because
Yeah.
it's like in marriage, it's like once you are pronounced man and wife, it's like there's no, you have to deal with it forever, or until you die.
Yeah.
It's like you. So if I would say if little things are like really, really getting under your skin, it might be something with you. Like
That's
it might
true.
not be the other.
It might not, yeah.
So it's like you have to do a lot of self-reflection. Like how much am I willing to like compromise or handle?
Oh, compromise.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
a lot of compromise.
Can we talk about that? I have another question. Sorry for all the questions. Marlisa, if you have any, just swing them in. Hop in. So with compromising, I really think it takes, in a relationship, maturity to be able to do that. And love is sacrificial. If we think about Christ's love for us, it was a big sacrifice. So for us to love others is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So how do you go about sacrificing yourself or things that you may want to do for the sake of Mike and for the sake of him, the relationship?
Like, how do you?
Yeah. Or how, maybe not how,
Mhm.
but or maybe it is how. I don't know. I just really feel like sometimes, at least when I got in the relationship with Charles, I didn't realize the sacrifice that it took. Like, understanding that Mike is a whole different person and you're a whole different person, and you're merging into one person.
Yeah.
How do you balance that merge?
That's hard.
Or maybe, do you give it?
I was gonna say, like, how did you deal with, like, growing through each season, like through the relationship, through engagement, all the way to marriage? Like, you guys changed obviously from when you first start to now. So how did you adjust to that?
That is a hard question. Okay, I think your foundation has to be good. So our foundation is mainly, I mean, God, of course, but our friendship, like, you really have to be friends first. A hard question.
I think you said it though. You have to be friends first.
Yeah, you have to be friends first, and you really do have to keep God in the center. Like, I've been like watching all these YouTube videos on how to be like a godly wife and stuff.
You are one.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But it really is like, you have to think about the bigger picture. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're getting married not just to have sex, not just to, like, that's all great, but it's like your marriage becomes a ministry, so it's like,
absolutely,
you have a goal.
And
so, I think that keeps us going. Like, I don't know.
That is your anchor.
I think you just said a lot though that we can unpack. No, a lot of great stuff that we can just unpack for the rest of the video or whatever. But you said one thing that stood out to me was, you said marriage is ministry, and you also said that you're not just getting married to have sex or for the things that we sometimes think about when we're like, okay, I can get married, now I can do this or now I can do that, but it's a bigger picture. The bigger picture is what you said. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of understanding that marriage is ministry?
It's hard. Okay, so we just went over this in my counseling session. So when you get married, a godly Christian marriage, God is co-signing your marriage. So
that's good.
You know how when his dad is our marriage counselor, so he explained this really, really well. When you have a bill, or you're trying to get like an apartment or whatever, and you have someone co-sign, it's not the person. If say I don't pay a bill and Marlise is my co-signer, after it's on you. And if you don't pay that bill, it's gonna affect your credit too. So when you are in marriage, this might be getting off topic, but
no, this is good. I'm listening to this myself.
So when God co-signs your marriage and it's a ministry and it doesn't work out because, or you think it won't work out because of whatever, like, little things you're going through, you are damaging God's credit to everyone else. Like, you're saying, me and Mike, we're getting married, we're a Christian couple, and 10 years later, we're divorced because he forgot to take out the trash too many times. Like, I know a lot of times it's not that simple, but you
made a good point.
If you have to worry about how you're representing God. If you are saying that you're going in this with God, you always have to have that in the forefront of your mind.
Girl, we just preached the whole sermon. That was so good. That spoke to me. I never thought of it as like the co-signing analogy that you just gave.
Like a contract.
It's a contract.
No, it's a contract in front of God.
Contract. Right. There's no termination. Once you win that thing, you're in it. So, okay, so maybe Marlisa, you can touch on this being single, the importance of, with everything that Delaney just said, understanding that when you're getting in a relationship and, you want to date God's way and do it God's way to get to the altar, you have to back up and understand first what Delaney said, that it's ministry and you got to see the bigger picture, and love is a sacrifice. So why is it so important that you work on yourself in your single season? And I really feel like if you can just give some encouragement to girls who are in their single season, just wanting to be in a relationship but not understanding what's to come with that. Why is it important to really love on you, learn you before getting with someone?
It's so important because, like I said like earlier, relationships are a mirror. So anything that you don't deal with while you're single, it's gonna come into the relationship, and if you don't deal with it then, it's gonna come into marriage. So it's important to be whole, because people say like, oh, I need someone to complete me. Like, no, that's not the case. You have to be whole. Like, two halves don't make a whole. You have to bring a whole person and a whole person into the relationship, into marriage. So yeah, because like Deilani said, it's important for God to be the foundation, and so in him you figure out who you are, you find yourself, your confidence, and then you get to a place where really it's like, it's just me and God. Like, what can you do to add to me? You know, that's what you can say when you meet the person.
What can you do to add to me?
The icing.
Exactly, the icing,
or maybe the
cake.
Candle. Like, I don't know. It's
an
extra.
addition. Yeah,
it's just extra.
Exactly, because a lot of times I know I had this mindset like, I thought relationship was the end all be all, and then like God reminded me like, you're not placed on this earth for a relationship. That's a beautiful perk in walking with God, having that God-centered relationship in marriage, but it's not the icing on the cake. Like, you can complete your purpose without a mate, but that person will add to you. Like you said, marriage is ministry. So yeah, it's definitely key to have that solid foundation in who you are, and absolutely have your own relationship with God, so that when you come together, I love that triangle, that where God's at the top, here is you two, and then as you get closer to God, you're going to get closer to each other. So it's so key to like use your singleness, like use the time wisely.
Wow, thank you. That's good. And I can say too, with every day that I live, and especially now, I'm learning, and I think Jeremiah 10:23, it's in Jeremiah somewhere, but he says that our lives are not our own. And he says, I've come to learn that our lives are not our own. And that's what I'm learning. Like, we're literally here to build up God's kingdom. That's it, nothing else. And it's really important that as Christian women that we understand that, because like Satan can try to distract us with so many things, and I really feel like a lot of single girls are hurting because they see themselves as single. But that's a beautiful season, and it's a necessary season in order to get to the next chapter. It's kind of like, and I don't know if y'all will agree, but it's like God won't give you what you're not ready for. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, God's not, like you said, God's not going to give you something if he knows you're going to make an idol out of it. So if you really, really desire the relationship, and he knows that when you get it, you'll stop praying, you'll stop going to him, then he's not going to give it to you, you know?
So back to you, Deilani. How do y'all make God intentional in your relationship?
Well, we do our own separate Bible studies and devotionals and quiet time. And honestly, when we first started out, the way we started out wasn't, I don't think it's the right way. We did everything together. And it was like a cute, like, oh, we're going to have a little Bible study day. And that it looks cute and everything, but it's like you go into it like just thinking about the other person, and it's like,
testify to that.
It's like, it's so cute, and it's like, oh, I'm doing Bible study with my man, like, we're so good. It was like, no, I can't, I get distracted. Like, I'll be like, no, I have to digest things on my own time by myself. And I mean, of course there's times like we pray together, but the foundation of it is by ourselves. Now when we get married, it's still really important to do stuff by yourself, but it will be more stuff together. I think God just dropped some in my spirit, thinking about the whole oneness of a relationship or a marriage. So when you're coming together, you become one. It's two people coming together to become one, but still in that there's still two people,
two individuals,
but they're just together as one. So I have my hands together, they're tied, I'm pulling them apart, but I can't break it, but my hands are still two hands. So it's important that you could do the cute Bible study like Deilani's saying with your man and go to church together, which you should do, but if I'm not doing enough on my end to fill myself up spiritually, that's going to affect who I'm with.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
you're gonna be expecting them to be God to you.
Right,
And
exactly.
Yeah.
It never works out.
That's so important. You're gonna be expecting them to be God to you because you're together.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you gotta. It's you
Yeah.
that you gotta do some filling up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask random question.
Yeah.
It's not on topic, but I was gonna say, have you guys like learned each other's love language and like how does that work in your relationship?
We just took that test like a couple months ago. Yeah, I think his love language is words of affirmation, and mine is acts of service.
Same.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we learned it, and it's hard because I know I just took the quiz. I didn't read the book yet, but it's like you're always better at giving your own love language.
Yes.
So I'm better at like doing stuff for him, and he's better at giving me words of affirmation.
Yeah.
So you just have to be mindful, like he doesn't need, or this other person doesn't need exactly what I need.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's change the topic a little bit,
Okay.
and let's talk about sex and waiting to have sex until marriage, which is what you and Mike are choosing and have chosen to do. Can we talk, why did you make that decision? Because you could have easily not have made that decision. There's a lot of people out here, it's like sex is just a common thing now.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
sad, you know?
Yeah.
Priscilla Shire just said something on her Instagram. She said holiness still exists and sin is still sin.
Yeah.
It's important that we as believers understand that, but people are just having sex today. So why, I really applaud you and admire you and Mike for doing that, because that's not, it's kind of rare today, sadly, for a couple to do that. Why did you all make that decision?
Honestly, we didn't make a decision. It was like already, it wasn't really a question. We never sat down and said we're not gonna have sex.
Okay.
Because we were already on the same page. We didn't ever feel like we had to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, it's come up, especially getting closer to the wedding. It is getting harder.
Right.
Our main thing is like we want to like be in the best position. Obviously, like marriage is, God likes sex in marriage. Like
He created it.
Yeah, He created it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you like? It's not blessed when it's not in marriage. So it's like, why would I want to experience that if God is not like, okay, I'm okay with that. So it is hard, but it's mainly just, we know like when the time comes, we're gonna like be very happy that we waited. And honestly, it's not us. Like, it is 152% God that's like, look, if it were up to us, we would have been had it like a long time
ago.
Yeah, so it's like, it's the Holy Spirit, like, okay, just like checking ourselves, like, remember what you're doing. Like, you're in this for the long run, not for like immediate satisfaction.
Yeah.
Like, you're in it for, you know,
Forever.
That's
yeah.
I was like, what you said stuck out to me, like how you don't want to do it because it wouldn't feel right, you know, right before marriage. And it made me think about the Relationship Goals series by Mike Todd.
I knew you were going to.
And he talks about sex container, how sex, the container of sex is marriage. So anything outside of that is gonna feel like, those toys that little kids have where you have to put the right square or the right circle in the hole. Well, if the container of sex is marriage and you're not married, it's kind of like fitting that circle into the square hole or whatever, But I was just gonna ask a question. So in waiting with marriage, what are you guys' boundaries to help?
I was gonna ask.
They're different, honestly, every day. Some days we can like handle more than other days. Like, some days we'll be in the car and a Daniel Caesar song comes on and we're like, nope, gotta turn it. Other times it's like we can be by ourselves and watch a movie, and then other days Mike's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be by ourselves right now, maybe I should leave a little earlier. It really is like different every day. But just, you have to know your own boundaries.
Yeah, know your boundaries.
Yeah, because some couples, they don't kiss. Some couples, they don't hold hands. Like, yeah, you have to know, like, and you know, like, you can't act like you don't know what, like, pushes them over the edge.
Yeah.
So you know them buttons.
Yeah, you know the buttons. So
know your own.
Away from the buttons.
Yeah, know your triggers. I was watching a video by Trey Roberts called Sexual Wholeness, and he was saying that, well, first, if you're having sex outside of marriage, it clouds up your judgment. But one thing that really stood out to me is that today people like sex because of the orgasm, and they think sex is all about stimuli. But he said there's not one place in scripture that mentions the benefit of sex as stimuli or as an orgasm. You don't see that in the Bible. And he said the purpose of sex is not physical, it is spiritual. So you can't be trivial about it. So it's really important, like Delaney said, that you know your triggers, set up boundaries, and don't go there, because as someone who lost my virginity before, I can say it truly does cloud up your judgment. Lust in general can do that, but yeah, thank you for sharing what you shared, because I think a lot of couples need to hear that. And even if you're in a relationship right now and you guys have been having sex, it's okay. You can start fresh, you know, just make a decision today. Listen, let's not do that anymore. Ask for forgiveness, repent, and you're fine. So yeah, the last question I want to ask you is, what advice do you have for women who desire to be engaged, or women who are single? Let's separate it. What advice do you have for single women? What advice do you have for women that are in a relationship that desires to be, engaged?
Okay, single women, like what Marlisa said, you have to take your time. You have to enjoy your singleness, which is something that I did not do. But yeah, you really have to use that time to make yourself whole with, like, asking God to fill you up and make yourself whole. And the person will come. Like, we're not supposed to go out looking for a man. They're supposed to find us. So you stay the course, and someone maybe, because will come. And yeah, I would just say focus on yourself and your relationship with God. And then engaged, or
girls or women in relationships that they desire to be engaged one day.
I think you have to check why you want to be married and engaged, because if you just want to have sex, if you just want the ring, if you just want, like, the title, maybe your what is it called, priorities are not in line. But I just, again, like, of course you can talk to the person about it, like, okay, this is what I want, because you want to be on the same page. But yeah, just check yourself, like, why do you want this so bad?
That's good. Okay, so unfortunately my battery died, so if the camera looks a little off, it's because we had to readjust it. So what advice do you have for single women?
I would just say wait on God's timing. Like, I know you hear it often and it's easier said than done, but I think it's better to wait on God than wishing you had. So just, like, trusting that God knows the past, present, and future, so he knows, like, who you're gonna end up with, how, the when, the where. Like, you don't have to figure that out. God knows all of that. So just, yeah, enjoying your single season and just living your best life, travel, doing whatever, like, staying busy, because I think when I get discontent, it's usually, like, when I'm not doing anything, or like I'm scrolling through social media. So just, like, being busy, you know.
Well, thank you so much, Delaney and Marlisa, for being in this video. If you have any questions for either of them, I know Marlisa's a lovely single woman and Delaney is engaged. If you have any questions about that, just comment below. They will respond. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.